Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Apex Greatness. I am your host, Russell Broderick. This way is Dario Albuquerque. I usually start this show with a soliloquy, but I have been requested by my co-host to sell out. So I'm going to do so, or lay out rather. So I'm going to do so. Mr. Albuquerque, the floor is yours.
So you usually start this show by asking me how am I doing.
This is true.
And as most people may know, I'm doing pretty shitty. You know, I was expected on Monday, not Tuesday. This is how long I had to recover from this issue. I was expected to come in and be insufferable. And it truly does suck that I can't. But because I'm a good sport, I just want to shout out a couple of people, you know. First, Todd Bowles did a great job. The whole Tampa Bay defense did a great job. And these people, which most of you may not even know who the fuck these people are, but I just want to read off some names. Russell might not even know who they are. So, Fred Bryan, Rusty Baines, and you weren't rusty on Sunday.
All these names will be above Dario's head.
James Coleman. I hope you get a colonoscopy or something. Eugene Hall. Fuck you, buddy. Dino Paganelli. Don't even know if I said it right, and I don't care.
That is an Italian. I know that.
And last but not least, Sarah Thomas. Wow. And she's specifically special. You want to know why? All of these people are special, but her in specific, because she is the first female official to help Tom Brady win a Super Bowl. You know, all of these guys really helped. Obviously, Todd Bowles' defense was amazing. They're definitely a huge reason. Sure. And I would say that these officials were a really good reason as well. I just wanted to start out the show by at least saying, shout out to you guys.
Let's continue. My God. And we start with some of the celebration in the locker room from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Which is the first time I'm watching this because I couldn't watch it on freaking Sunday.
As they have won the Super Bowl. A lot of happy days for these guys. Ndamukong Suh, first-time champion, been in the league a long time. Jason Pierre-Paul has never lost in the playoffs. He's a ridiculous, I think, 9-0 at this point. Brady, obviously his 7th. But I'm dressed in black today. I'm dressed in black because we are doing somewhat of a funeral for the 2020 Kansas City Chiefs, as they did not live up to your expectation, and they did not live up to my expectation, as I also picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game. For them to not score a touchdown was very surprising. However, I should probably take some of this stuff off because it's storytelling time. So, the first thing I got underneath this nice bullshit that I'm very happy to get the fuck off of me. Hopefully I don't fucking break it. This is how little I wear clothes that are nice. The first guy that I'm wearing underneath here is Mr. LaDainian Tomlinson. What you're watching right now is LT during his MVP season in 2006 under Coach Marty Schottenheimer, rest in peace. We're recording on the day of his passing. Rest in peace. But this was his last. This was his last team that he coached. They were 14-2, right? They were Look at these scores, fucking everybody up, right? shredding through the league. Marty Schottenheimer had always had teams that were amazing regular season teams and just like were either went up against like John Elway or just some all-time great. And that's the only reason why Marty Schottenheimer didn't end his career with Super Bowls. This was his biggest and best opportunity, and a lot of people had speculated one of his last, right? Had been coaching since the 80s. So, unfortunately, they ran into the Buzzsaw, who had already had 3 championships up to this point. The New England Patriots, and I guess, in his prime, but I guess we're going to get into this. We're redefining what the hell a prime is. But in his prime, Tom Brady, right? This was, I think, right before they got Randy Moss. And the Patriots went into San Diego and put up a decent fight, right? Patriots, 13-14 in the fourth quarter. Close game pretty much throughout, right?
Yeah.
Wild shit like this. And comes down to, also, not for nothing, classic Phillip Rivers, as I look at this in hindsight. Comes down to this fucking nail-biter game, right? They get down in field goal range. Clock it. Oh, I remember, so 2006 I was 13 years old. So LT was easily my favorite running back in the league. And I really thought they were going to fucking make the Super Bowl. And this bastard misses the field goal. And then they come out, and maybe they probably won't show this on the game replay. Oh, wait, yes, they do! They're coming out to do the lights out celebration. And my man LT, who is the classiest guy in the league at this point, is getting in guys' faces because the Patriots are doing the main defender on this team is Sean Merriman. And what do you call it? Sean Merriman's dance with the lights out dance like this. And the Patriots were doing that dance in their end zone as they won the game. And I just remember being really pissed about that. Now, last but certainly not least.
While you're doing this, I just want to know.
I have 2 favorite players. One of them is Terrell Owens. I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I was just saying that that it's just funny to note that Brady is usually teammates with bitch ass niggas.
Yeah.
But let's get
Oh, that's a common thread throughout Brady's entire career. And Peyton Manning, my favorite quarterback growing up. We've already gone into this a few times on the show. One of my all-time favorite players. It's like him, T.O., LaDainian Tomlinson when I was a kid. Those were the 3 guys. All of them didn't end up with Super Bowls till mad long. But Peyton Manning, 2003, won a co-MVP with Steve McNair, was changing the way the quarterback position was played. Throwing everywhere. A lot of run-first teams in this era. Peyton Manning was the first one throwing bombs and opening a can of whoop-ass on everyone. He was the best, right?
Yeah.
They make it to the AFC Championship game. A lot of people. Best offense in the NFL with Manning and the Colts versus the best defense in football. Once again, going up against those New England Patriots. I'm going backwards a little bit. The LT stuff was 06. This is 03. This is 03. Yeah. So Patriots obviously on their way to their repeat Super Bowl. And they just completely shut down in a very similar fashion the best offense in the NFL. Something that nobody in the league was able to figure out. They hold, and I'm pretty sure I have the box score here. They hold, let's see. Oh, here it is. 24-14. They hold the best offense in the NFL with 14 points, right? they've basically been averaging 30 that whole year, right? Points for 27.9 a game, and they held them to 14. And this would happen to Manning over and over again. Another one, divisional round, 05, very next year, Peyton Manning throws 48 touchdowns or 49 touchdowns, and breaks the record, a record nobody thought would ever be broken. Holds that team 3 points, divisional round, completely takes Manning out. And the fucked up part was, by this point, a lot of people on television were saying, even though Peyton Manning did some ridiculous shit this season, the Patriots just have his number, and they always shut him down, and that's it, right? And that's exactly what happened. 2 years, up until the 06 AFC Championship, where the Colts barely squeaked out a fucking win. Peyton Manning was always beaten down by Brady, and this was the best part. Tom Brady, right? This game, 144 yards passing, 1 touchdown, right? And I was hearing, oh, Brady's so much better than Manning, right? 4 interceptions, sacked 4 times. Manning, terrible game. They annihilated him in that AFC Championship game, right?
Yeah.
Brady still 237, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 76.1 quarterback rate. Like, he's not blowing him out of the fucking water. That would come. Those big major quarterback duels came later in the meetings. Once they got to like 10, 12 meetings in, and Moss and shit got on the team. But that was always the thing that would frustrate me with the Colts and Tom Brady in general. In these big games, a lot of the time, up until the second period of his career, he would have these all right, average games, and people would turn around and tell me Brady's the best quarterback in the league, and it would frustrate me to no end. This game, Kansas City Chiefs, I looked this up. In the entire era that Pat Mahomes has been the quarterback, so since 2018, and this is why I felt for you too, because I remember saying this to Lindsay because we were watching the Super Bowl together, and I said, in Dario's entire football watching tenure, he's never seen the Chiefs not score a touchdown. This is the only game in their entire history that Mahomes and Andy Reid have been together that the Chiefs did not get in the end zone. And Lindsay thought I was full of shit. And then it came up in the Super Bowl after the third quarter that it was the first time it had happened in 3 quarters. This team in Kansas City, 29 points a game. Been the most dominant offense easily of the last 2 years. No one could figure them out. And what were we saying last week? When the going got tough, they always made their plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So seeing this happen was shocking to me. And how many times did they get Mahomes? They got Mahomes 3 times. So I thought they were going to have to get him 5 times. They got him 3 times, right? Then, what do you call it? Then the throws that Mahomes was making, and when we go to the highlights, I'll run through them, but he was playing his ass off. He ran for over 500 yards to run away from fucking JPP and Sue and Vita Vea and all those boys. But Brady, just barely 200 yards, got his 3 touchdowns, all short goal line touchdowns. Could have easily been running back plunges, right? And I say the same thing. I was like, Brady might have won the game, but this is the story of help, right? He had so much help to get this done. And that was the story that you started to tell.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that help right now. Chiefs, Buccaneers. I got to be honest, man. Even after the first half, I wasn't super nervous even though it looked bad. Because I remember the Houston game. You know what I mean?
But, all right, so the only thing is, one, this defense was significantly better than Houston, and
Sure.
I don't just to make sure that people know that I'm not just talking on my ass. When the first quarter was ending, what did I text you, Russ? I said, you were right. This is probably going to be a defensive game, right?
And I was like, fuck, I did say that. Because I said on the show last week, if they don't get to 20, if the Chiefs get to 24 points, I don't think they can lose. I said that.
Yeah. So, and I think you should have been right. I just want to state now, I don't know if the Chiefs, I'm not going to be the person to say we lost completely because of the refs.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that we did.
Yeah.
I think we lost because of the refs and because of the Tampa Bay defense. I think that maybe we would have lost anyways the game, possibly. But I feel like this game truly, if we were going to lose, it should have been a 24-17 game.
Sure.
Instead of a 31-9 game.
Yeah.
And I want to explain. So we go, and this is when I knew that it was going to start to have, there was going to be some bullshit happening. So Brady completes, I think, a pass to maybe Gronk or Mike Evans for 3 yards.
What quarter is this?
And the second quarter. If you want, we could go through the play-by-play.
Let's run through it. Because hold on. Because I wanted to look at I think they were showing a pass interference penalty here that I wanted to run by, because that's a huge story of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It wasn't in the first quarter, though, the pass interferences. It was in the second.
Well, here's a flag right here. They have a lot of them in the highlights. And I think that's the point, because we're going to tell the story here. So, in the NFC Championship, right, there was a whole thing based on they let the guys play. They let the guys play. They let the guys play. And then the very last possession, then they decided, to tighten it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm sorry. It's not because, and this might be passive aggressive, but they let the guys play in the Packers game, and I just wonder why they didn't let the guys play in the Chiefs game. I just wonder why. You want to know why? Because they knew we would have fucked them up if they would have let us play. Bitch ass nigga. Fuck out of here.
All
right,
let's keep on. Hold on. The man, I believe, because I didn't think of this in the moment, and I'm mad at myself for not thinking of it last week. Because it's something that happens at any of our jobs, right? If you're at your job, right, and you fuck up in a big moment at your job or in a big meeting or whatever, next week or the next day or the fucking next hour, your boss is going to sit you down and go, you fucked up. Here's how you fucked up. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. So but
that's not true because it's not the same officiating staff.
But but do I think that officiating staff were given points of emphasis? That pass interference calls being one of them? Definitely.
And I was going to bring this up later, but I'd rather do it now because it's going to make my point a little bit more. Yeah. The Chiefs have never throughout the 18 games before they got to this point.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have been called for 10 plus penalties in 5 games total.
Right.
That means that they played pretty clean throughout most of the year, right?
Yeah, or continue. Sorry, continue.
3 of those 5 games that they went for 10 plus penalties, it was this officiating crew.
Right.
So
I'm gonna double check that research, but I saw that on Twitter also today. What do you call it? But here's the one thing that I heard from just people. I saw people on Twitter that are in his division. They're in the Chiefs division, and what they were saying is they do this all the time, but they just don't get called for it. So the inconsistency is the biggest issue, which I think is interesting because it's a lot of bump and run coverage out there, anyways. And I feel like if we were to look back at the NFC Championship, I feel like this was probably happening on every play.
Yeah, and another thing is so we just saying I just can't imagine that one team is playing the cleanest game in the world and the other team is just playing the worst game in the world defensively, when literally they were almost even defensively throughout the whole year. All right, so because I'm just gonna keep getting frustrated. So I'm gonna get off that because I'd rather go to my actual proof of this. So we go and this was when I just like immediately knew that some bullshit was gonna happen. After they scored a touchdown, the Chiefs go 3-0.
So
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
the
they go
Gronk
3-0.
touchdown right here.
The Chiefs go 3-0. Bucs get the ball, right?
Mhm.
You go and see you see. I think there's a pass to either Gronk or Mike Evans. I can't remember whichever one. It was just a screen pass.
Hold on, we're coming up. We're coming up on it right now. I'm pretty sure this highlight reel is fucking sick. Shout out to the NFL, who's definitely going to give me bullshit for using this, but I don't care.
So you go. Is that who gets the ball? Maybe it wasn't Gronk.
It was. Gronk.
Yeah, it was Gronk.
Yeah, you're right.
It was for 3. They call roughing the unnecessary roughness offense. Pause there real quick. Literally
on who?
On Chris Jones.
Oh, because he hit him out of bounds.
No, it was off the play. So a lineman mushed Chris Jones and then he like mushed him back.
Yeah, it was the Jensen play. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So and I'm like, okay, I'm like, Chris Jones, you have to fucking control yourself. You can't just whatever. But I'm like, but I was like, that's when I immediately knew. I was like, there's some bullshit is about to start. Don't feel.
Was there any point where you were just like, damn, they're calling it way tighter than usual? What was the teetering point between, damn, they're calling it tight to fuck this?
No, because I was right when that started happening. I was yelling. I was like, don't fucking start this shit, because I already know how they do with Brady. Like, they suck his dick. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And this is something this is unfiltered shit that you're not gonna hear in a fucking stupid ass TV show that's sucking Brady's dick all day. So they eat Brady's cock, and I don't care what anybody says. All right, whatever. So then they get a field goal on that drive, right?
Expert analysis.
Yeah, facts.
Hashtag
so then,
whatever.
So they get this. Oh wait, is there?
This is the fourth and out that they.
Oh, the fourth and out. Yep. Look, so they would have literally, and the Chris Jones penalty. I wouldn't say that. Like, I don't think that was. That was just the beginning of like the thought process for me.
Yeah.
I don't think that was like
necessarily bullshit
like super crazy
as much as you started to get upset after that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What got me upset was after this drive. Yeah. This is when I was like, okay, now you guys are fucking saving people. And
okay, hold on. Can I share something with you real quick?
I was pissed about this.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen in 3 years of them playing together. And it happened repeatedly. Repeatedly. Because Kelsey finished with over 100 fucking yards. And so did Tyreek. And like Hardman would catch the ball and he slipped. I'm sure we'll see that play. But I've never seen from this team, because this team is so fluid and like perfect and technical offensively. I've never seen so many hiccups, drops, slips, weird mistakes.
But that's a.
By the time
I think my bad. I think that's a compliment to the Tampa Bay's defense. I think and it was also the hindrance of the off. Can we pause that real quick before?
Yeah.
And that was just the hindrance of the offensive line plus Tampa Bay's defense playing great. Like, I'm not gonna be someone to say that Tampa Bay's defense didn't play great and we should have dominated. Like, that's not what I'm thinking at all. Like, I think they played a great game, and I think it should have been a tighter game than what it was.
Yeah.
But they played amazing. They made the Chiefs speed up. They had to go quicker, and it made Mahomes feel like he had to go quicker, and it made that's most likely why Kelsey dropped that ball. It's like he's not going at the normal. I'm sure they didn't practice that. They didn't do their reps in practice that fast.
I really hope in this highlight reel. I really hope in this highlight reel they have Kelsey's face after one of these third and outs. Because the look on his face, I saw the look on his face, and I was like, "That I couldn't agree more, Travis Kelce."
Yeah,
that is exactly how I feel. I cannot believe this is happening.
This is when I was like, "It's starting." You telling me for one, they called defensive holding, right?
Yeah.
The rule, and Russ, you could put this rule. They let you hold for 5 yards.
Yes, they do.
They let you hold for 5 yards, and if you look at it, it's 5 yards, and then Mike Evans pushes off on whoever the fuck it is. I can't remember if it was Wards or Sorensen or whoever the hell it was. Mike Evans, it's a 4-yard play. Look.
I can't. I'm looking for him down the field.
Yeah,
they're going to show you slow-mo of it in a second, but
yeah. So and the reason they called holding instead of pass interference, you want to know why? Is because they couldn't call pass interference. You want to understand why? Because the ball was tipped. If the ball's tipped, you can't call pass interference. So they called holding instead. Well, guess why? Because they eat Brady's dick. And then what that then leads to is a fucking in that same drive. They call the holding, and they were supposed to get it. I'll just let it get into it because I'm just like, I have like my whole thing that I'm just like, they call this ticky tack fucking offsides. I don't give a shit. If it was Tampa Bay, they would not have called that offsides.
This was getting crazy. I couldn't.
What did you text me when this happened, Russ?
Oh, fuck! I don't even have my phone.
Russell had to text me. Try to.
Don't do anything rash.
Don't do anything because he knew it was bull. Yeah. Whether you didn't think it was bullshit or not, it made you have to feel like I should text him.
I should text him. That is what I thought. I was like, I have to text you because then when I saw that, and then we'll get to the play later on here, where Honey Badger loses his mind.
So just so I count, so then people won't think that I'm just like cocky. That would have been 3 points, right? In reality. It should have been a 3 and out because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They should not have called hold on that, especially after fucking calling that bullshit pass interference and the bullshit personal foul. My man, we had 8 fucking penalties for 95 yards by the end of this half, and these guys had 1 penalty for 5 yards, and you're telling me this shit is fair? But So in reality, they shouldn't have got any points out of that. Instead, what they do is they get a fucking touchdown on that play. So that's 7 points that I'm counting right now.
So this is exactly what happened in the Packers game. Like, to a T. Packers make a mistake or Packers have something happen, you know what I mean? Either a penalty or an interception. Brady, instant touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, instant fucking touchdown.
Which you should.
Doesn't take 2 downs.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this, we're getting in the end zone. It looked like, look at this. Look how many people are in the end zone. This is not goal line. Like, it looked like there's 2 guys down here, and there's 1 guy here, and then there's 2 guys in the same spot in the middle of the end zone. It looked like that was end zone no matter what, which I thought was really interesting. Like,
and
there's no way the Chiefs saw that. They definitely saw that.
I'm not mad at Brady for taking advantage. You should take advantage of this shit.
That's what he does. But he was even smiling halfway through the game. You could see it. They showed him smiling and shit.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Like, he was...
Mahomes literally was doing
he was running for his life.
If anybody walked out of this game thinking that Mahomes wasn't the best quarterback that they've laid eyes on, they're fucking insane for not thinking that he's the best quarterback in the league. There's not a question in my mind. Like, I don't care. The only other quarterback that you could think that could possibly have done some of the stuff he did was Deshaun Watson. Like, that's the only other quarterback that I could think of that would do similar shit and has done similar shit with these.
This is, by the way, a credit to, now that you brought Deshaun Watson up, I really wasn't thinking about that till just now. But one thing that needs to be said is your offensive line and your lack of offensive linemen played a massive difference in this ballgame. Way more than I thought it was going to.
Well, the biggest issue...
We mentioned it on the show, but we didn't, at least I didn't, for sure. I didn't think that, I thought Mahomes was going to make up for a lot of that because he basically has all season, and we see him do that running around shit all the time, you know?
But what Andy Reid, I think he probably is looking back on in this game that he messed up on, is he, instead of just switching out the one lineman for Fisher, he switched 3 people's positions.
Yeah.
Like, he rotated people, and they started to not know who were their assignments versus just one person having to figure out something. You can get exploited from one side, but if it's coming all over the place, you should have adjusted. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing that I think.
See what I mean? This was the shit I was trying to tell you last week, where I was like, if I hadn't seen it last year, like if let's say that Super Bowl never happened,
Yeah.
biggest thing, because it was a huge thing last year during the Super Bowl, was, is Andy Reid going to get over the hump?
Yeah.
Right? And what was, in my opinion, just as a fan and being obsessed with the game as I am, like, the biggest thing throughout my entire life, he does not run the football when the defense gives him that look. He never does it. He hasn't done it my whole fucking life.
And Hilaire was doing good.
Yeah,
he was running well.
Yeah,
and I was just like, why are we not taking advantage of this? But
because he never does.
I figured we wouldn't.
Yeah, he never does.
And they were playing cover two. Like the way you make the defense play out of cover two is you run them out of cover two.
Yeah.
You run the fucking ball and you make them say, all right, we have to respect the run a little bit more.
Yeah. And the weirdest part was, in the middle of this year, they were doing that. We saw Clyde with like 30 carries.
Yeah.
That happened. I'd never seen Andy Reid have a running back like that. It made me want to pick Clyde in fantasy more, but then he just they stopped. And then once again, it's just I'm so surprised that even after winning a fucking Super Bowl, Andy Reid doesn't run the ball when he's given the opportunity. Because if they had just run it at a few of these spots, maybe they get to 10-14. Because the clock goes down a little bit, they have a little less time on the other side. Like, they're able to get it. They're able to get in the fucking end zone. All of a sudden, it's a totally different ball game. This is
the next drive that pisses me off. All right. So what's the pass interference rule, Russell? It has to be pass interference on a catchable ball.
Yeah. Defense has to do several things
over Mike Evans' head.
So this is my only thing where I'm going to say, this is where I don't understand. This is the thing that I don't understand. Regardless of this, right?
Oh, wait. Time out. Yeah. Before you get to your thing, I have to send you something, because to prove, because I remember thinking about this. I wanted to send you this because this is a referee, a former referee, like the lead official.
Yeah.
And he broke down. He explains that in a tweet. I think that.
But go ahead.
You were gonna ask a question.
So here's my thing on this whole play. There's 18 seconds left, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't the Saints get fucked on something very similar to this not very long ago? And so they added this to review? Why aren't we getting a review? That's the only thing that I don't understand. Why aren't they reviewing that in the booth?
No, they took that out. They so originally you could
that's where I was so confused. I was like,
so 2 years ago the Saints got fucked in a pass interference call. In 20, I think it was 2018 against the Rams. So then that's when in 2019 they added the pass interference challenge, and then I think there's a booth review on that after the fact. That was then taken out in 2020 because it was just making games last so much longer. I don't know if you remember, even in red zone, like
I do remember it taking longer, but it's because people always think everything's pass interference. But they need to, in my opinion, the booth should be able to review something like this. Because here's the first part of it that I don't understand why no one's talking about. He tripped.
Yeah, and he tripped on Mike Evans tripped him. It was so.
I don't know if that's the case.
Not on purpose. It was just like
foot entanglement. It looks like he just trips on himself, but he tripped.
No, could you go? No,
we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it like 80 times.
No, if you go on that tweet that I'm talking about, it shows like a clear shot of them tripping each other. Okay. And he explains this is the veteran official that they usually pull up on these shows and explain like why the call is right or why the call is wrong.
Right.
And this guy, after the fact, if you could go to the tweet real quick. All right.
Yeah, it's right here.
You have it up here. Sorry, I can't see it because I have my thing. He's saying that at first he thought it was a pass interference,
Yeah.
but then after looking at it, they got entangled, which then is not anyone's fault, and
Well,
that's what caused it.
That's why I was so shocked that they threw it in the first place, because if he did not,
He never even touched him with his arms or anything. Nothing happened. Like but my whole thing is, it was overthrown by 5 yards. Like he was not. It was not a catchable ball.
Yeah.
All right.
That was Romo's thinking. But Romo's been Romo in his career has been fucked on a couple of those.
Yeah, but I was surprised that Romo even said anything, because literally Brady's cock was in his mouth the whole fucking game. But whatever. He literally does that all the time. It's fucking annoying.
He does it with every quarterback. He does it with your quarterback.
Yeah, no, but I don't care about it. When you're already getting fucked by the refs, it's just annoying to hear someone talking to you about and saying, "Oh wow, it's so amazing how you're getting fucked." Like,
that's the truth. No, that's a true statement. No one likes to hear about being rectally penetrated. But all right.
And then the thing with this, like,
I got for anybody, there's the click, there's the click, and there's the tap right there.
Yeah, perfect. Any person that's thinking, "Wow, this is just an angry Chiefs fan," sure, you could think that, even though I'm showing you actual proof on why we were getting fucked. Because whenever there's a 50-50, for whatever reason, it was going to Tampa. So I'm just thinking, at this point, I'm like, damn, like, they fucking give them a field goal, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, after
this is
point,
a field goal. This is a field goal.
Yes.
I'm like,
yeah, we haven't even gotten to the one where I totally agree with you yet. Because even that one, I could see the catchable ball, and I really thought it would be challenged. I think this. Yeah. Oh no, not this one. This is the dump pass to Leonard, who got him right. Knew he was going to have more than 50 yards.
And this is the part that pissed me off. He threw this to the rafters.
Yeah.
He like it was not possible to be a catchable ball, and they called it pass interference. And then you just gave them an easy 21. So I already counted 7 points before from the touchdown that they shouldn't. It should have. Brady should have got intercepted, and Mahomes would have had favorable. That could have literally went from a 7-point swing.
He has no chance to catch that. That's completely uncatchable.
Exactly. Yeah. So so Brady goes from when he should have got intercepted off that bullshit ass holding call. Mahomes could have got it in better field position and possibly done something with that. So it could have. That's already 7 points. Then they gave these motherfuckers another 7 points with 2 passive interference calls that were bullshit. So that's 14 points. You telling me? Let's say if the first holding call doesn't go, and they don't call the bullshit fucking offsides on Hardman. I don't think it was Hardman. I think it was the other guy. But if they don't call the offsides on that guy, and they get the 3 points, you telling me the Chiefs don't look much better going into the half, down 10-6 instead of?
Well, that's what I just said. I said even down 10-14, like where you had it, like
but my whole thing is, like, I'm showing you 2 plays. They automatically just made this game a 3-possession game.
Yeah,
and for anybody,
it was really fucked up. That last one was crazy. That was like the ice. That was like the nail in the coffin for this drive.
And then to just like add insult to injury right after this bullshit, Brady runs up to fucking Tyrann Mathieu and says some shit to him. Right?
This will be on your screen now if you're just listening. This will be on your screen now if you want to read it.
Yeah, he says some shit to Tyrann. Mathieu says something, starts walking away. Brady runs up to him again and starts saying some shit, and then Tyrann says some shit, points at his face, and walks away. And they give my guy, after they just fucked them on 2 fucking pass interference calls, a fucking bullshit ass holding. They gave him 14 points. You got the nerve to then say, unsportsmanlike conduct, Tyrann Mathieu, another 15 points. It didn't even do anything. It didn't affect us in any way doing that. But it was just literally just saying, we don't give a fuck how much we're fucking you. We want to just show you that our dicks are in your pussy hole right now.
Hard.
Seriously. So I don't care for anybody. I do agree. Tampa Bay's defense played amazing. But to tell me that this game doesn't change significantly off of them moving it from a 1-possession game to a 3-possession game, with having the Chiefs have to go against this great defense, this would have been the score could have been 10-9 right now.
And going back to your Watson point, this is what it's like for fucking Deshaun in Houston, running without offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Joe Burrow has to go through. And this is the part of Kansas City that I think is and has been super underrated. Even by me last week. Super underrated. Like, and I was listening to Michael Lombardi, who's a former GM, and he made this point. I thought it was interesting. Like, these guys, these offensive linemen, they're not going to get younger, and they're probably not going to get healthier. Like, they'll obviously get back, but like, I think in the draft, the move for you guys is linemen.
Yeah.
Like, both sides.
We don't need more offensive weapons. We have a solid defense. All of our core players, Chris Jones, Tyron, Mahomes, Tyreek, Kelsey, everybody who's big in our team that we like the names are all signed to long-term deals. So it's not like we have them for at least 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Frank Clark is another one that we have for a while too. So my whole thing is, and then for anybody saying that they probably could have still lost the game, I agree. I'm not saying that the Chiefs would have won the game if they didn't do that. I'm saying at least let my team get a chance. You literally just said, we're not giving you a chance because we don't want to see what could possibly happen. Like, this could have been a 10-9 game. And does the defense play better? Like, you telling me if the game is much tighter, like, can a defense start
when I saw Tyrann Mathieu at the end of that half, and I had a buddy text this to me, and whether it's fair or not, Brady was living in Tyrann Mathieu's head by the time that second half happened. And that's whether what he said was fucked up or not or whatever, it took Mathieu totally out of the game, and it made, like, they didn't get a lot of points scored here in the second half, but as you said, it's a lot harder to be motivated. I thought he caught that. I really thought he caught that. If I'm being honest, the first time I saw that,
my whole thing is that was a pass interference. He tripped. The same thing happened. He got tripped up. Like, my whole thing is, if you're gonna,
it's not the same. The reason why he got the pass interference, in my opinion, had less to do with the trip and more to do with what happened after he fell, because he tried to grab the legs. That's what got him the fucking thing.
Yeah, but he didn't even get the legs. That's the whole thing.
But I'm telling you, that's what the referee saw. I'm not telling you whether it's right or wrong. Obviously, we've gone through whether it's right or wrong. That's definitely what was seen. That's why I couldn't believe there was no review for it. That's why I know you explained to me that doesn't happen anymore, but I was like, this is why I thought we made this rule.
Yeah. Like, and then my next thing is,
I really thought he caught that. I really thought.
So go back
to jumping up and down. I was like, holy fuck, what a grab.
For Mathieu to get this is how you know that this was just bullshit. Mathieu got that penalty, and Brady felt so bad about whatever the fuck he said, he had to text Mathieu the next day apologizing.
Yeah.
If the other person really deserved the unsportsmanlike conduct, why the fuck is the person who didn't get the unsportsmanlike conduct texting the dude?
What do you think he said?
Apologize. Huh?
What do you think he said? Do you ever think it'll come out?
Probably not. It should fucking come out, because fuck that nigga, man. That shit is bullshit. Like, literally, like, I would have punched Brady dead in his mouth. Like, all jokes aside, I would have dead punched him. You crazy? Especially being Tyrann Mathieu. Like, fuck that. Let me not say what I want to say, man. I'd fuck that nigga up, though, man.
Fucking. I wonder if it'll ever come out what he said.
And then you telling me that, like, if the game is closer, the momentum of the game could change. Like, you don't know. Like, maybe the offensive line holds up a little longer. Like, you don't know. Like, they totally made this an impossible game. And for Mahomes to do this shit, and this is why I'm repping him. I don't give a fuck that we lost. I'm still repping my quarterback because he never fucking gave this shit up. He literally threw it sideways. I don't care. There's no quarterback in the league making that fucking play. Literally not one quarterback would have done that, and it should have been completed.
It hit him in the fucking face.
No quarterback in the league. Literally, most quarterbacks in the league wouldn't even be able to handle any of the pressure that he was having.
Pringle. Oh my god. I just couldn't imagine being you. I couldn't imagine being you on Sunday night.
Like, and
Fucking
then
A.
for people, this is the part that frustrates because now it's just a rant because that's it. The game is already over. We don't really have to go through this, but because it ends 31-9 anyways. It's not like anything that happens here is gonna change.
What's
But
up?
like for everybody in the world to say the Chiefs lost because of the Bucs defense and only the Bucs defense is like, if you want to just completely act like the game didn't happen, like how it actually happened, then whatever. I was surprised they didn't call pass interference on this.
Yeah.
Like anytime it was like somewhat physical, I was just like, this is pass interference. And then they called the latest flag in the world on the roughing the passer on Mahomes.
Yeah.
Bro, he got split in half.
Yeah.
And it took them so long to fucking call that. I was ready to run up and just start wilding. Like, if there's no way I could have been in Tampa because I would have look.
COVID's heavy. You don't want to
you saw the ball dropped and fumbled all over the ground, and they still hadn't called the fucking flag yet. If that was Brady, they would have called the cops. Literally, cops would have been in the fucking. Everybody who would have hit him would have went to jail. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. And Mahomes is dead ass the most stand-up dude afterwards because he didn't say anything. He said this is the worst game I ever played on some bull. Like, no, bro, they fucked you.
Yeah,
like,
so this is the way I feel about it. Mahomes said everything right, and I am one of those people that does think in this particular scenario that regardless of 2 penalties that they probably would have lost anyway. But I definitely think.
What do you think the score would have been? Because
hold
I was saying
hold on.
24-17.
Hold on.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm thinking and I would have said probably something closer to, something like that. Something like 28-17, something like that. But the way Tyrann Mathieu went into the locker room at halftime, I was like, even if Mahomes has the best offensive game, they have to do one of those Tyreek Hill uncork 80-yard plays for the defense to be inspired again. Because I couldn't believe how out of it Honey Badger was. That was so. It was the perfect storm of emotions. But no matter what, whether it's fair or not, the guy was out of the ball game, and that fucked you.
No, yeah, no. But what I'm saying is if I think if at this point the Chiefs are throwing touchdowns and stuff and coming back, I think he totally forgets about that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is if those penalties didn't happen, we're talking about a completely different game. Like maybe Matthews doesn't go through that. Like he did.
Well, yes. I'm agreeing. I think the big one on him was the pass interference on Matthew in the end zone. Like, I think it was the perfect storm of events that made Honey Badger lose his mind. The pass interference beforehand, and then this, which I believe is uncatchable. Like, I don't think he's getting to that, even if it's a straight line. I think that's sales. Look, it doesn't even like.
It wasn't even in the end zone.
I just don't think he's getting to that. And
it wasn't. I mean, it was literally. If he would have caught it, he would have caught it out of bounds. Like that's
my thing. The way I've always judged this throughout my time watching football, and it's a little blurry right now, but if that ball looks like. If that ball makes the players look small on the field, usually it's too far away.
Yeah.
And they look tiny compared to this ball up here.
And especially because Mike Evans usually is like a jump ball guy.
Yeah.
But not when you're running that fast.
Yeah. And that's the right throw, I would suppose. You know what I mean? Because Honey Badger's obviously smaller. Yeah. But when he lost it on the back judge here, and then Brady came down and said what he said to him, that took him totally out of the game and made it so it was just, and like you said, once the score was what it was, the defense plays you a different way, right? As on Tampa's side, for one. And it makes it a lot harder for Mahomes and the Chiefs with backup offensive linemen and this was the one thing that I saw on Twitter that I didn't necessarily think was correct. Eric Fisher's been in with them all season. and he's one of their best offensive linemen. And I was seeing online that people were like, they won all year with shitty offensive linemen. They had one offensive lineman that was like a doctor in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones, what do you call it? The other ones were playing.
People were saying they went 14-2 with or 14-1 with this offensive line. I'm like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the truth at all.
And also, like one thing I've learned over the years is a great left tackle is, and that's he plays left tackle or right tackle, Fisher.
I think it was left tackle.
It'll be above my head, but that left tackle position, especially from where JPP is coming from, and look at this. Look at where all the blitz pressure is coming from. It's all coming from that side of the thing. I could turn at any point in the Super Bowl here, any Pat Mahomes possession, and the pressure's coming from that side. Look, here it comes again. Coming right from that same thing. We flipped the field, so it's coming from that side. You see what I mean? And it's killing you every time. That he's got to run every single time he's running from somebody. Like that regardless, that makes it extremely hard to score points. Yeah. Look how far, like, they tore through that offensive line like tissue paper. And you know what I felt terrible for? That long-haired punter. Your poor punter who sees like 2 plays all season because you guys never fucking punt and is expected to make.
I didn't feel bad for him at all. I was so pissed. I was like, you see, like,
I felt
that
bad
stuff,
for him.
like, I'd rather lose. Like, that pisses me off, but I'd rather lose because of that. Like, yeah. I want, like, and this is how.
Well, them having a short field definitely helped.
Yeah, like, it frustrated me that the freaking refs were pretty much helping these guys. But like, and it obviously pissed me the hell off. But I'd rather lose because we lost.
Right.
Like beat me. Like, I'm okay. Like, I've always been like that. When I play basketball against somebody, if someone's cheating to win, I get irate. But if you beat me because you beat me, I get frustrated. I get mad. But I'm like, you beat me. Like, I can still go after the fact and give you a pound and say you won the game. Like, you deserve to win. Yeah. Like, to me, they did not tell me that they deserve to win. Like, just because the defense played well, I've seen the Chiefs go through defense. Like, San Francisco played well last year too, but guess what? They let them play in the game, and San Francisco was up by 10, and we went on our spurt.
I think this Bucs defense played way better than that San Francisco defense, and
the reason
those Chiefs are not the same.
Defense, if this was San Francisco's defense, they would have looked the same.
Yeah, because your offensive line was tissue paper.
Exactly, but that's why the Bucs defense looks as great as they did. But if San Francisco, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have a very similar D line. We talked about this last week.
Well, that's what I was about to say. They didn't blitz at all. They did exactly when I talked about Tom Brady in 07. This is how you beat Tom Brady in 07. You bring 4, you win the war. You know what I mean? And that's what they very rarely brought more than 4 or 5 guys. It was a lot of that front, and then it was a lot of Devin White and Levante David running sideline to sideline.
Yeah. For Kelsey, yeah.
Yeah. And you were totally right about what they did to Tyreek Hill. I was totally wrong about that. I did not think
they were gonna make, because all I'm thinking is they're gonna make you run the ball in order to get out. And I just knew Andy Reid was not gonna do that, and I also didn't think we had good enough running backs to do that.
Yeah. So, well, with the running thing, we weren't going to talk about that last week because Andy Reid doesn't run the football. He just doesn't run it. It's not what he does. He's that again, like we started when we said this earlier. That's why when he ran it 30 times in the middle of the season, I was like, this has got to be an average, because the guy's gone 20 years without doing that. He's had great running backs. He's had LaShawn McCoy. He's had Brian Westbrook. He had Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt was like, I think he led the league in rushing, but he still caught a shit ton of passes and a lot of receptions.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I was surprised. And even though at the end of the game, Tyreek Hill still got over 50 yards in the contest, they kept trying to look downfield, and it was like, why didn't they do more of what they did against the Bills? Because we were talking about that against the Bills, where they were just taking what they were giving them, and they knew they weren't going deep, and that was it. You know what I mean? And they threw short passes. And I was like, they should do that. I also said that it might have been because, what do you call it? They were catering to Mahomes'
They
injury.
have personnel that like you mentioned, their linebackers like are way better. Like they had the personnel to stop that. Like I think they should have tried it more. I agree, but I think their defense. It was if I think if we had our offensive line, I think this game would have, even with that, I think this game would have been totally different.
I agree.
Because you would have at least Kansas City would have been able to be at their full strength with their offense.
I think about, and we're gonna go to the Chiefs-Rams classic here because the Chiefs were down a lot of that game, and the Rams, especially at that point, still had an amazing line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, with Donald and those boys.
Yeah,
and I just remember Mahomes just saying, you know what? Fuck it. And just start absolutely unloading to Tyreek Hill. And I think that comes later in the game. But I bring it up because, what do you call it? They don't have, like you said, to run like a wasp type play, you need time.
Yeah.
You need time down the field. And if you don't have the protection, you could be the best quarterback on God's green earth.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to run from people.
Yeah, because you're gonna be running for your life.
Yeah,
like
this type of shit.
We went for 500 yards running around.
Like this was the shit that I was expecting. Like, look, KC's down 30-40 right here, right? This is the shit I was expecting from Pat Mahomes in this contest. But then I realized that he just didn't have time.
Yeah.
Like even in this video, he compares it to the Super Bowl. Look how much time he's got.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's just to me, and like there's no way. I don't think they're that much better than I truly do think that San Francisco's defense was better. Because they had better cornerbacks, and they had a very similarly good front that could get to the quarterback. I think if San Francisco's defense if this would have been San Francisco's defense, it would have looked similar, like almost identical.
Yeah, and because, you know what? San Francisco's defense did shut you guys down for 3 quarters. So
that's what I'm saying. But look, we were allowed to stay in the game. They didn't fucking fuck us on points. And guess what? We had a chance to come back, and we did. Maybe it doesn't happen, because it's hard to just continuously do that.
Yeah.
But you at least give us a chance. You didn't give me a chance. Yeah. You literally just said, you're going to be down 3 scores, and you stood down 3 scores the whole game. Yeah. Like, how the fuck am I going to ever be able to win the game doing that? Maybe they would have fucked us at the end and scored some and called some bullshit. But at least it was just so frustrating to go. And after this play, the pussiest thing that I've ever seen in my life happened. I hope they show it on the highlight. If not, I'll explain. But we see this beautiful pass to Mahomes, to Tyreek Hill, and this pussiest thing in the world. You want to know why? Because I learned really from this great man. His name is Michael Jordan. He said with a bat in his hand. He goes with a bat in his hand, and he's swinging it. And he says, it's really easy to talk while you're ahead, but when if you're a competitor, is when it's different when you talking from when it's tied. Tyreek Hill fucking went and backflipped in y'all bitch ass end zone when it was when we went up 7-0 something, and it was the first.
You guys were up by a good amount. You backflipped in the end zone after his second touchdown and 250 yards in the game.
Yeah, but guess what? It was the first quarter. Why didn't that do that to Tyreek Hill in the beginning of the game? Why? Because you don't want bulletin board material. You don't want anything to motivate somebody, right? Tyreek Hill straight up from the very beginning told you this is how it's going to be, and you have to do something about it. You do it when the game is over. That's some pussy shit. That's the type of shit that I hate when people do. Because that's the pussiest thing. You already know you won. Why don't you talk when the game's not over? And I just want to say one more thing. I'm sorry. This is just a rant. It has become it's a rant now. I just want to tell the Bucs and the entire NFL, I truly do feel bad for you guys in 2021. I swear I swear to Kobe that this is gonna be hell for the rest of the league. There's no way. Patrick Mahomes in general, but this whole team, there's no way that they go through this, and it doesn't mean that there's hell to pay next year.
Well,
especially with ESPN's bitch ass fucking showing pictures of Mahomes going down 31-9 and like looking all pissed and shit. ESPN is pussy for that. Fuck out of here. Watch what happens. I swear to God.
If NFL history tells us anything, it's that you're right. In no uncertain terms. But this type of loss and ass beating has led to the 72 Dolphins, right? They lost in the Super Bowl prior, poorly. They came out, they went undefeated the next year. Let's see. When was that? The 07 Patriots. Oh, wait, did they win? When did the Patriots win again after that?
Fuck them Patriots. We don't do shit while cheating. Bitch ass.
But I'll have a run of teams.
Brady damn near fucking cheated all his fucking rings. Fuck out of here. You literally your whole career started off of cheating.
Yeah.
Fucking the refs sucking your cock.
But my point is, usually devastating losses in the playoffs the year before lead to really awesome seasons the next year. So you pretty much are sure that they bring the same team back for another round of Chiefs.
Probably more offensive linemen they're gonna draft and and you probably probably I don't think we need another running back truly, like, because Damian Williams is gonna come back next year hopefully.
I think you guys need to go sign Kareem Hunt. Or sign Leonard. Sign Leonard. He's a free agent now. Sign Leonard.
Fuck that. I swear. Remember this, everyone, because there is literally gonna be a price to pay for that, and the insufferability that's gonna happen next year when I'm on some shit the whole fucking year, week after week after week after week of me just doing this. I'm not apologizing for it.
So here's my next question. Now we got to turn our attention to Tampa Bay. People got to stay. People got to go.
Godwin's out. He's done.
You don't think he's coming back?
He's not signing for less. He could make.
Mike Evans has already said he's signing for less. It's already been confirmed that he will more than likely take.
And that makes sense because Mike Evans already made all his money in his career. Like Godwin's
he's fucking 27. It's not like.
Yeah, but he's been in the league how long? 6-7 years.
Not that long. Not Brady amount.
What do we have his like how much money?
Contract? I could probably find it.
Because my whole thing is Godwin's on his rookie deal. You got to remember, like you want to make your money, like.
Yeah.
Like if Mike Evans got his generational wealth, then it's awesome.
Then we live. I mean,
that's really how they think of it. Like I won a Super Bowl already. Let me make my money. Like I need my money.
Yeah, 5-year, $82 million contract.
55. Yeah.
Yeah. The news is Mike Evans offered Tampa Bay Buccaneers cap relief. This was as of a day ago. Yeah. So yeah, it's because he wants to play with Brady. I want to play with Brady too. Play with him as long as you can, especially if he wants you around. And it's one less mouth to feed. So so you think Chris Godwin's going to be out? How about the sauce boss, Antonio Brown?
I think he's staying.
I think he's staying too. What about?
And he's already said before that that he doesn't want to play with anybody else but Brady before Tampa Bay signed him.
Yeah,
like he said that. So
well, Brady had his back when everyone jumped off the fucking bandwagon. Brady was still like, we got to bring this guy in.
Yeah, Brady loves woman beaters and shit like that.
He's into that. Guy is. Fucking James Harrison too. He's into just people who like to beat on other people. But what about Leonard Fournette?
Probably sign. I think I know him. Him and Brady have like a relationship. So like
I have a really, really, really good friend that went to school when LSU had Leonard on the team, and he went to LSU during that time. and he said the day 2 or 3 days before Leonard got signed to Tampa, his other favorite team is the Patriots. And when he called me, he was like, dude, I had a dream that Leonard was receiving handoffs from Tom Brady.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
you told me. Okay.
And then he signed, and what do you call it? Yesterday he was wearing all his, on Super Bowl Sunday he was wearing all his LSU shit. He was freaking out. Fucking, this is my friend's wet dream, is this fucking team. And I think Leonard will probably stick around. It's just a matter of whether he wants to get paid, like you were saying. Like, that's the cool part is
he got paid though, didn't he?
not really. I'm pretty sure that he was a rookie from let's see, Leonard Fournette. I'm pretty sure he never got paid. Running backs are weird like that.
You can't go to the salary thing, or
It's not on Pro Football Reference. Yeah, contract breakdown, salary cap figures.
But he didn't get paid from this dude.
No, rookie deal.
Oh,
The Jaguars
wow.
is a rookie deal.
Hey, yo, come over to fucking no. The Chiefs can't pay you either. So I say, come over. You could.
I'm assuming
one of those guys that wins a Super Bowl and then wins it again for the next team.
All you Steeler fans, how did it feel to watch Antonio Brown score a touchdown and win a championship for another team? How did that feel, guys? Feel good?
How did it feel to watch Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown in the fucking Super Bowl while your team lost in the first round?
Yeah,
awesome.
To the Browns. To the fucking Browns. For gangsters. But
sorry, Joe.
Fucking. But what about the Gronkowski?
All up, Joe. Sorry.
What about the Gronkowski? This is going to be a devastating matchup for the greatest tight end ever, because Gronkowski has sealed it as at minimum, the greatest playoff tight end of all time, and a lot of people feel like he's the Shaq of offensive weapons, and I completely agree with that sentiment. But Shaq's not the greatest NBA player of all time, and I don't know. I like Gronk. He was very injury prone throughout a lot of his career, but he was Shaq-esque in the sense that nobody ever did anything like that. Like there's no there's the Harold Carmichaels of the world played for the Eagles. He was like 7 foot tall, played wide receiver, but didn't move or make crazy catches like the Gronkowski.
He's like 6'7", right?
Yeah,
260, something like
he's
that.
an enormous mastodon of a human. He's 6'6", 268.
Yeah, but see, it's just weird because like Kelsey's like 6'5", probably like 240, something like that.
Yeah, but he moved. But you could tell he looked so
but
much.
He played basketball. That's why, like, it's 6'5", 260. Like, yeah, like.
But he doesn't look like he holds all that weight on.
Huh?
Kelsey doesn't look like he holds nearly as much weight as Gronk does.
Yeah.
It just, Gronk holds it so much more awkwardly, but somehow success occurs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Gronk could ever run the routes that Kelsey runs.
Yeah.
But Gronk, there's only one Gronk. You know what I mean? Fucking, do you think he comes back?
I'd take Kelsey any day.
Yeah, to the shock of no one. Do you think?
Fuck Gronk.
Do you think he comes back?
I never got to see Gronk in his prime either, so I can't really talk.
He was about as good as he was on Sunday. He was that good just all the time whenever he played. But the thing he would be injured or this. There would be no middle ground.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the Super Bowls where he was on the team and he helped the Patriots, he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he was hurt. No. But do you think he comes back?
I think he stays. I mean,
how old is he now?
He's 31.
He's born May 14th, so he's gonna be 32.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much of a beating he wants to take. And without COVID, he's going to have to do practice for real. So,
and especially when he freaking sending them
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to have to take practice seriously. And
I'm surprised he even said that on camera. He should have just stayed quiet.
That dude doesn't give one Santa Claus shit. Not one. Yeah. He doesn't care at all. Fucking, I don't doubt it at all. Sammy Watkins, I think it's time for Sammy Watkins to leave the Chiefs, personally. I think Mecole should take that spot.
Yeah. And I think unless Sammy wants to take a pay cut, like he's gonna have to take a pay cut, because it doesn't make sense if you have Mecole there. Yeah. Like it doesn't make sense to have Watkins
Totally
pay
agree.
him that much money for Miko when Miko's what? This is Miko's second year. No, this is his first year, right?
Second year, I'm pretty sure. But he's basically the Hardman philosophy of let's get guys who have Olympic speed and turn them into wide receivers. So just keep doing that. You'll find a guy in the draft that's fast.
Yeah.
Like, they're great at it. So just do that. Why pay a guy like Sammy Watkins when you could just pay Tyreek Hill and have Tyreek Hill teach these guys how to do shit? And you're good. Like, that's what I would do. But for this, Ronald Jones, I know he's got more on his contract, like extending past this year, but I feel like he's either going to be traded or I think Brady genuinely doesn't like him. And
that's crazy because we thought that he liked him in the beginning of the season, and then.
Well, do you remember?
Well, sorry, we thought that he liked Fournette and didn't like.
We thought that he loved Fournette, but really, he did love Fournette. He was saving him for the postseason. Fournette, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. It's only like 5 or 6 other guys to ever do that in history. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm happy for Leonard too because he's a guy that I followed for a while now. So, but what about? Let's see. All your defensive guys are signed, right?
I think so.
The main ones.
Need loose ends.
But yeah, I would just say a lot of linemen, a lot of fucking, just like working on that interior. Dude, this was a fun. I know that it might not have ended the way you wanted it to end, but this has been a fun NFL season. This has been a good NFL season. Lots of cool shit has happened. We found new quarterbacks. We found fucking maybe the end of a quarterback's career, Drew Brees, right? We saw Aaron Rodgers once again blow it in an AFC Championship. And it's going to be a long 6 months or so until the season starts again.
You know, I'm personally happy to jump right into basketball. You know? It's me personally. I don't
go
really,
Lakers. LeBron's still doing well.
Yeah, I don't really like the fact that because this is the NFL's fault to me. You know, it's their officials. So you piss me off.
I love how everyone's the only way you're going to have to hear Dario's legitimate explanation for the rest of time is by listening to this podcast. Because after this point, the refs cheated. No, you're not going to hear anything else from you. It's just going to be the refs cheated. That's all you're going to remember.
Yeah, I mean, you could at least give me a fucking chance. You know, that would have been nice.
Well, 4.
Fuck the NFL. Fuck Roger Goodell. Fuck Tom Brady. Fuck all y'all, man.
4 Apex greatness. I am not bitter. This guy is. And we are saying peace. See you guys around for basketball.